Our IT department, if everybody look around, they got a little placard back there that says on air. On air. I guess what that stands for is lights, camera, action, I guess. This morning, we welcome back our Secretary Treasurer. Robert's been pretty ill. He's a very silent man, very a man of few words, but when he speaks, has a lot of volume. I spoke to his companion, and I hope we don't lean too hard on Robert this morning. He's always native shame, what we used to say back in the day of Indian shame. But this morning, I would like for everybody that does pray, keep Robert in your prayers. Also, we lost a lady and one of our past chairman's wives. So this morning, I'll call upon my good friend Verna to render up a prayer for our tribe, for these people I spoke of this morning. If we could be reverent. Verna, none sukat.
Thank you for this wonderful day that you have bestowed upon us today. We ask you to be with us each and every one. We ask you, Heavenly Father, to be with our ones that's lost a loved one. Special request we hold up Mr. Corral. Ask you to be with him today. And there's a lot of our other relatives that have passed on and have loved ones here. We thank you for bringing us to this day. There are many requests out there this morning of needs and wants and desires. And we ask you to look upon them this morning and grant them their requests. Father, today we're here to meet and conduct business. We ask you to be with each and every one of our representatives that we call CBC. Ask you to bless them in a special way. Be with them in their hearts and in their minds and in their souls. For their families too, because their families go through some things too, Lord. We ask you, Heavenly Father, that you just continue to be with us, guide us and direct in our every step. We give you praise and glory and honor this morning, Lord, for you are so worthy to be praised. Ask you to forgive us of our shortcomings, for we have many. Ask you to just be with us and guide and direct us in our every step. And everything that we do and we say, may it be for your glory, dear God. Thank you for your Son, Jesus, for saving us from our sins, for bringing us to this day. For all these things, Lord, we give you the glory and the honor. And I ask it in the name of your Son, Jesus. Amen.
Thank you, Verna. May we always lean on prayer. Our folks prayed back in the day. That's why we're here. This morning, since Robert can speak, but real quietly, if I could have Robert go ahead and make a roll call, if he would.
William Nelson, Chairman.
Here.
Susan Carthon, Vice Chairman.
Here.
Robert Tipicani, Secretary Treasurer here. Jonathan Folwake, Committeeman number 1.
Here.
Eddie Odyssey, Committeeman number 2. Here. Ronald Redout, Committee number 3.
Here.
Clyde Narkamy, Committeeman number 4.
Here.
We have a quorum, all present.
All present. I skipped the gun on invocation, comes second, but I think it was needed this morning. That said, before we go into the resolutions, Amber Hedge, are you here with enrollment? Okay. Bobby Sawpity, are you here? Okay. So we are going to go straight into these resolutions. Well, we start with our enrollment. Well, I'll be, Eddie. Oh yeah, I was gone last time. I was gone. I appreciate everybody's prayers about my wife. She's getting along pretty good now. But we're probably going to have to save up. Might need a transplant later on. Business Committee, please look over the minutes from February. So Tillman County, I just want to bring this up real quick. Everything's pretty much well, green light? Great. Just an update on our court. I guess there's been nothing but a lot of speeders going through our properties. So the court's already seen a windfall, traffic tickets. And they usually say, hey, I got a ticket, who do I call, who do I pay? So, Lawton Police used to get all that, I used to tease, I don't know, Dr. Pee Wee Wardy and I, we were talking yesterday about different things about the city of Lawton. And I teased that mayor, hey, when you guys are broke, all you do is give out tickets, right? But anyway. I do want to give some kudos to Dr. Pee Wee Wardy. We did go before City Council. I was just there in the audience. Nolan was there, different ones were there. And next year, they're not going to celebrate Columbus Day. They're going to celebrate Indigenous Day in Lawton, Oklahoma. So there you go. Dr. Pee Wee Wardy, while they're looking over these minutes, sir, could you give us just an update on what we're going to do for that celebration and what's coming forward to get that all put together, if you don't mind?
Thank you very much. Good morning. I'm very pleased that the City Council last month passed a resolution to adopt Indigenous Peoples Day in the city of Lawton. It's going to be October the 8th, 2018. So this is the first ever attempt that really acknowledges anything to do with tribal government, people's existence. And it wasn't easy. It took 3 tries, a lot of talking, convincing, and then adopting. And so we got the word out, and it was unbelievable support that we have from our Native people in Southwest Oklahoma, not just with the Comanche, but the Kiowa and the Fort Sill Apache representatives all came together and came with a voice. So it was a wonderful witness to unification of self-determination I've never seen in quite a while. And it's pleasant. And it was really remarkable that all the people in the audience that packed the house and the City Council of Lawton could see real unification efforts happen, where we were all in one mind, one place, and just to acknowledge our existence. And so with that, I really appreciate the support of the council. And we're going to be meeting next week on, I think, Thursday night at the Patriot Room for our planning meeting. So you're all welcome to come. We're just now starting a planning committee that consists of community members from all over the Southwest. And so I really thank you and your support.
Thank you, sir. Thursday night here at the Patriot Room. Okay. Now, Gabby.
I'd like to thank Martina for getting the date changed of that Indigenous Day. I think it was changed to Columbus Day.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Martina, you do all
She's the
that?
one who done it.
Where you at?
Well, also Dr. Cornell.
Well, stand up. Give Martina a hand, everybody. He's our Tribal Historical Preservation Officer. Pretty important position. Business Committee, if I could have somebody entertain a motion to accept these minutes.
I make a motion to accept February's minutes.
Motion made. Need a second to continue.
Second.
Second by CBC Narcomi. All those in favor for accepting the minutes, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. All right. We're going to go right into resolution number 3518. This is a resolution number called list number 1085. This list includes the names of applicants who have been verified as eligible pursuant to Article 3, Section 1C, membership of the Constitution of the Comanche Nation, which states all descendants of allottees eligible for membership under the provision of Section 1A of the article, having 1/8 or more degree of Comanche Indian blood. Now therefore be it resolved that the CBC accept the verification of eligibility for the applicants as shown on list 1085 by the Comanche Nation Enrollment Office, and be it further resolved that the Comanche Nation Enrollment Office notify the eligible applicant by letter of their approved membership, and further that the enrolled member be provided information concerning their enrollment, including name, date of birth, roll number, social security number, and degree of Comanche blood. Mr. Clyde,
Yes, sir.
how many new members we got here?
Well, you got 29 new members,
29 new members,
and 21 of them are 1/8.
1/8, okay? We have members in Nevada, Florida, Wisconsin, California. Business Committee, for us to accept these new members, I need someone to entertain a motion to continue.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
before I make a motion to approve, I got a question here on this one.
Sure.
On the first page, Michelle Morton, it's got she was born July the 13th, 1982. That would put her over that 18 year of age. What's, maybe our enrollment officer can explain that.
Well, in accordance to the Constitution, the 18-year-old timeframe only comes into play when they're trying to switch, when they're trying to relinquish from one tribe to us. And then that's when they have that 1-year window to switch to us. But if they've never been enrolled anywhere at all,
Let me ask you this. Is she one of the ones that was possibly adopted out, didn't know they were
Yeah,
Comanche?
yeah, according to her, she had no idea she was even Comanche. And
And
then-
we did our due diligence on this, we found, okay,
Well, I make a motion to approve
okay,
Resolution 35-18.
okay. Motion has been made to continue on this. I do need a second.
I second.
Seconded by our Secretary Treasurer. Business Committee Resolution number 3518, labeled as list number 1085. All those in favor for approving this resolution, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Here is our new people from Wisconsin. We have Oakley Rose Acre. Then we have Jackson Benitez, Naya Dawn Burgess, Anna Marie Castro, Adriel Carina, Magdalene Coleman, Kyla Fulkerson, Adelaide Hollingsworth, Carrie Johnson Jr., Trinity Carty Henderson, Alina Lewis, Trenton Lone Wolf Hainte, Cecilia Lopez, Grace Leandra Miles, Kara Morton, Delita Janelle Sue Nelson, Gary Parker III, Dre Pacquiao, Avery Piwo, Gemma Ramos, Gabriel Rosas, Gavin Rawlings, Ricky Satoke Decora, Crispin Tyler, Jackson LaWayne Walkway, George Wesapapi, Real Wedby, Lawson Wedby, and Ruby Zavala. 29 new members. Let's welcome them to our Comanche Nation, everybody. I keep thinking, 18, maybe 22, 34 years from now, this person might be that person that is that scientist that finds a cure for cancer. That's my thinking. It's optimistic, but that's my thinking. We're going to move to resolution number 3618. Resolution number 3618 addresses the tradition of sovereignty of the Comanche Nation since time immemorial, long predates the existence of the nation, establishes the inherent sovereign powers and rights of the Comanche self-government, and whereas the Comanche Constitution, Article 6, Section 7, establishes the Comanche Business Committee as a duly elected official body designated to conduct business. Whereas the Comanche Nation DOT wishes to add these routes to the TIP, which is what? What does TIP stand for there, Mr. Director?
Transportation Improvement Plan.
There you go. Transportation Improvement Plan. Then enter into an intergovernmental agreement with Comanche County, District 3, route number 4317. Cotton County, District 1, route number 7199. The subcontractor will perform all construction duties and utility line relocation for the said project. Now therefore be it resolved, the Comanche Business Committee hereby approves the BIA Branch of Transportation and Southern Plains Regional Office to add the above routes to the nation's Department of Transportation Improvement, TIP plan, and to authorize the submission of the intergovernmental agreements for design and construction of said project. With that said, Mr. Tejano, where exactly is this?
Okay, the first one we're looking at is north of Indiahoma, Highway 62 south into the township. That road's getting pretty well deteriorated. And we talked with the county commissioner and they're willing to do all the work that needs to be done. We just pay for the materials on that.
Federal funding, right?
Right.
Okay. And the one in Walters?
You know, it's just north of Main Street there. It has allowed access to two tribal lots, and that road is in poor shape.
Okay. And that is federal funding too, right?
Yes.
All right.
All the roads that we do will be
Yes.
done with federal funding.
All right. Business Committee, 3618 is before you. I do need a motion to continue.
I make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve by our Secretary Treasurer
Second.
and a second by Mr. Narcomi. Business Committee for Resolution number 3618. Please signify by saying aye for approval. Aye. All those that disapprove, same sign. 3618 did pass. And an update. Go ahead.
On another note, the Lower Tatum Road is scheduled to begin April the 2nd.
April the 2nd.
And we don't anticipate them being in there no longer than 3 weeks if the weather cooperates with everybody.
Very good, very good. I know one thing, when you get south of the Indian Schoolers, that one dip, boy, howdy. And
All that's going to be built up and redone.
very good, real good. And of course, the hospital keeps stating, hey, how about our little extra parking lot on the north side?
Yeah,
Okay, that's
both
really
of
good.
those will be done.
Very good, very good. With that said, I do need to ask you on the clover leaf that they're imposing for Rogers Lane. Do you have an update when the state's going to do all that?
I think they're doing some preliminary work up there now.
Okay.
I can find out more with my meeting with TNG Construction since they want to bid on that. We kind of get an idea of how their work schedule's gonna go on it.
Okay, all right. Everybody's got appointments in April? Make note.
We will put a piece in the law constitution.
Okay, very good. All righty. Moving forward to resolution number 3718. Dennis, you did visit with me on this. Could you give us some detail?
Well, yes, this is a tract that the Comanche Nation owns greater than 5% of the property. It's undivided interest, and whenever the nation owns greater than 5%, the BIA requires a resolution to be approved by the council, CBC, and before they can go ahead and process this. This is some property that's down by Walters, and they've been waiting for this since December, and we've just haven't quite got there yet. But we're needing this approved and send it to them so they go ahead and pay the family.
Okay. When's the last time this lease man's renegotiated, do we know?
This lease was, we had questions about some other ones that he was involved in. And then you had a conversation with Julie about the actual dollar amount isn't what we thought it should be.
Right.
But actually, he's doing some improvements
That's
to make
good.
up the difference on this track here.
Okay.
So the
Fence,
improvements versus the lease equals to about what we should be
Right.
getting.
you know, that's just the deal. Mr. Red Elk pointed out, being a past farmer, you go down these mile sections and you can always tell where Indian land is because that lease man never improves the fence, overgrown brush, overgrown everything. So is he gonna be doing some fencing over there?
That's what I've been told. Now, they do all that.
I get you.
They just convey that information to me to help us better understand what's going on.
You know, we talk so much around here. Hopefully you have updates on different leases that we're a part of. You know, we come into a lot of different lands. Just give us updates, and if it looks pretty bad,
Okay.
you know, one thing about farming, if you got a lot of cheatgrass on your side, it gets in your crop. So, you know, I don't know what kind of farming they do. They just lease it and go on, you know. So anyway, with that said, thank you. All right, resolution number 3718. The CBC has determined that it is in the best interest of the nation to authorize BIA's Anadarko Agency to lease certain real property in which the Comanche Nation has acquired undivided ownership greater than 5% in the following two tracts. Contract number 4200071907. It is a Comanche tract 802-2321, 153.84 acres under the original Lot T Tabier. Then contract number 4200071907, and that is Comanche tract 802-2323, 40 acres, and that's the Taichabiti. How many?
So that's close.
That's the original Lot T. Okay. Whereas the Comanche Business Committee has considered the terms and conditions of each of these tracts, and it's a 5-year lease agreement beginning January 1, 2018, and has determined that the lease of these properties to be in the best interest of the Comanche Nation. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the CBC hereby will authorize the Comanche Nation Chairman, William Nelson Sr., to sign the BIA farming and grazing acceptance documents for each of the two tracts listed herein on behalf of the Comanche Nation. So Business Committee, we got a detailed list of what it is, what our interest is, improvements to be made. For this motion to continue, for this resolution to continue, I do need a motion.
I make a motion to accept Resolution 37-18.
Motion made by our Vice Chair, Ms. Cawthorn. Second to continue, Business Committee.
Second.
Seconded by our Secretary Treasurer. All those in favor to accept resolution number 3718, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Resolution number 3718 has passed. Here is a grant application to U.S. Department of Justice. So, Ms. Shannon, how are you? Good morning.
How are you?
Could you explain this one to us?
Yes, I can. Good morning, Chairman Nelson, members of the CBC. This is the CTAS application through the Department of Justice. This is one of the grants that we had applied for last year and one which essentially helped support the court. So it's that time of year again. We're very, very excited about this proposal. This is one of the largest that the Comanche Nation has submitted for this solicitation. We have 4 different departments contributing to it. Law enforcement will be going after the cops portion of it for vehicles and a wide array of equipment. We have the tribal court applying for it under their purpose area. We have quickly found out, since we have assumed criminal jurisdiction, that we are in dire need of a probation officer as well as a bailiff. We are looking at trying to tie in the salaries for our appellate court judges. Those will be our 3 judges at the Supreme Court level for the Comanche Nation Tribal Court. And I'm also meeting with our court administrator quite frequently to just see if we can sit down and kind of forecast some of those other expenses for equipment and supplies that we can hopefully tie into this grant. Our Family Assistance Center, the women's shelter, will be going for the grant under their purpose area, looking at salaries and direct services so they can continue to provide services to victims of domestic violence, stalking, sexual assault, dating and violence, etc., 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And then we have our children's shelter joining us on this application as well. They are looking at funding possibly 3 new positions, a playground over there for the children who come into the shelter, and other supplies.
Really nice. Thank you, ma'am.
Shannon, under this grant, would that be able to get this bailiff and probation officer under this grant?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, for the tribal court purpose area.
Right.
Yes.
I ask this question. When you say this is other than the court, so to speak, this application includes them if you just make this application?
This application, the CTAS, is kind of unique. What it is a series of different purpose areas that apply to tribal justice systems, but it looks at it from a holistic point of view. That's why our children's shelter falls under it, our family assistance center as well. And so what happens is essentially we will be writing 4 different grants, but they all have to be submitted as one packet for the tribe. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
But should that be stated, or is it's understood?
It's understood. This is basically, this resolution is very, very similar to the one last year that covered us for that grant, and we actually just increased the ceiling to $4 million. Looking at if each program applies for their ceiling, we're looking at between $2 and $3 million for the nation. But in case any other department, feels that one of the purpose areas is applicable to them, that's why we went for 4.
Could I ask one last question?
Yes.
Okay. There's 562 federally recognized tribes.
Yes.
Now, we're part of a unique group. There's 18, I forget what it was called, Shannon. We're part of that 18.
Oh, special jurisdiction.
Okay.
Yes, and we actually, the team, we just returned from San Diego 2 weeks ago now for that meeting. We did have to share where the nation is as far as implementing special jurisdiction. We were very excited to share with them that we are very, very close. And so they really encouraged us to continue moving forward, to use their technical assistance. We are going to be meeting with the Yaquis in Arizona because they have been fully implementing for quite some time now. Reaching out to them for the development of the probation program to just see, what lessons they've learned through the road bumps they've experienced. So hopefully that can help alleviate
some of those issues for us here at Comanche Nation. But they were very excited and pleasantly surprised to see how quickly, once the grants were awarded, and how quickly we have been able to come together and assume criminal and civil jurisdiction and move forward with that.
Really good.
Yes.
That's something to really hang our sunny cot on there, Nolan. Okay. Resolution number 38-18. The Comanche Nation sees a critical need to improve public safety and victim services in tribal communities. This solicitation provides federally recognized tribes an opportunity to apply for funding to aid in developing a comprehensive and coordinated approach to public safety and victimization. Whereas the United States Department of Justice, DOJ, and the Coordinated Tribal Assistance Solicitation, which is called CTAS, has funds available from $250,000 to a maximum of $4 million for up to 3 years to accomplish this purpose. And whereas the chairman or his designee is the official representative of the Comanche Nation and is authorized to negotiate and approve contracts and any amendments to such. Now therefore be it resolved that the Comanche Business Committee, by legal quorum, does hereby approve the submission of this grant application to the United States Department of Justice, Coordinated Tribal Assistance Solicitation, CTAS. And be it further resolved that the CBC, acting for and on behalf of the Comanche Nation, does hereby authorize this resolution for such intent. Before we go to the vote, Vern, does that affect any of your DOJ money at all?
This is how we get our DOJ monies through CTAS.
But I know. That's why I'm asking.
No, it does not affect our 638 contract at all.
There we go. Business Committee, resolution number 3818 is before us. I do need a motion to continue.
I make a motion to approve resolution number 38-18.
Thank you, Mr. Narcomi. I do
I'll
need a
second it.
second. Okay. Vice Chair, thank you. All those in favor for resolution number 3818, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. For the record, resolution number 3818 has passed. And I think we'll get this one like we got the other one. All right. Resolution number 3918. Miss Martina, we gave you a hand clap a while ago. What are we doing here?
Yes, this grant that I'm applying for is through the MICA group, and it's for cultural resources, protecting our places, cultural sites. And so this grant is for 1 year, it's for $35,000, and so I am trying to, or would like to propose an ethnographic study of our traditional cultural properties. And so we have identified a lot of the places that we consider sacred sites, but with our elders passing away so quickly, I want to get that capture of those stories of the ones that do know about our traditional places, our sacred sites, our vision quest sites, battle sites, so that we can capture and document and be able to have some input, of these areas. And so just trying to get some information. I'm reading the ethnographic study that was done by Kavanaugh, and so this is the research done from 1933.
Right.
So just want to be able to utilize the elders and tribal historians and people that can contribute. And so for this grant, I've talked with the director, and so it has to be done in 1 year. And so just trying to hit the ground running, they say, and so just trying to see. She said it was a really good project, so I just really want to compete for it. So there's only 20 grants. We've received phase 1, but all tribes received it, and so that's why we want to apply again for this grant.
Okay, sounds really good. Thank you, Ms. Smithorn. The CBC is a duly elected official body designated to conduct business. The Comanche Nation sees a critical need to promote cultural and historic preservation in the area of ethnographic study of Comanche cultural sites. The interpretation will connect people, places, and contexts that shape events for the Comanche lifestyle across the identified 8 states of the Comanche traditional territories. The plans are to contribute to the study of the Comanche traditional cultural properties, with tribal historic resources associated with the cultural practices, traditions, beliefs, lifeways, arts, crafts, and social institutions. Whereas the MICA Group's Cultural Resource Fund for Protecting Our Places Cultural Site Protection Grant funds are available of $35,000 and 1 year to accomplish this purpose. And whereas the chairman or his designee is the official representative of the Comanche Nation and is authorized to negotiate and approve contracts and any amendments to such. And now therefore be it resolved that the Comanche Business Committee does hereby approve the submission of this grant application to the MICA Group Cultural Resource Fund for Protecting Our Places Cultural Site Protection Grant. And be it further resolved that the Comanche Business Committee, acting for and on behalf of the Comanche Nation, does hereby authorize this resolution for such intent. Business Committee, I bring forward resolution number 3918. If somebody could entertain a motion to continue.
I'll make that motion.
Motion.
Second?
Motion made by CBC Odyssey and seconded by CBC Narcomi. All those in favor of resolution number 3918, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those in disagreement to this, same sign. All right. Resolution number 3918 has passed. As you know, our tribal court does have its own codes. This resolution is repealing the Comanche Children and Family Relations Code of 2008 and retroactively applying Comanche Nation Tribal Codes Title IV, Comanche Children and Family Relations Code to pending cases. The Comanche Nation is a federally recognized Indian tribe possessing inherent powers of self-government, whereas pursuant to Article 6, Section 7J of the Comanche Nation Constitution, the CBC is to promulgate and enforce ordinances and codes governing law in order to protect the peace, health, safety, and general welfare. The court meets every one of those: peace, health, safety, and general welfare on land determined to be within Comanche tribal jurisdiction. Whereas the Comanche Business Committee passed resolution number 5408 on April 5th, 2008, repealing and replacing the Comanche Indian Child Welfare Code of 1982 and creating the Comanche Children and Family Relations Code of 2008 in its place. And whereas the Comanche Business Committee passed resolution 13917 on December 2nd, 2017, granting all judicial authority to the Comanche Nation Tribal Court and establishing the Comanche Nation Tribal Codes, Titles 1 through 4. And now therefore be it resolved that the Comanche Children and Family Relations Code of 2008 is hereby repealed and replaced by CNTC, which is the Comanche Tribal Codes, Title 4, Comanche Children and Family Relations Code. And be it further resolved that all pending matters filed pursuant to the Comanche Children and Family Relations Code of 2008 are under the jurisdiction of the Comanche Nation Tribal Court and controlled by the Comanche Nation Tribal Court, Title IV, Comanche Children and Family Relations Code. Business Committee, I bring forward resolution number 4018. I do need a motion to continue.
I'll make the motion to
Motion.
approve.
Motion made by our Secretary Treasurer for approval. I need a second to continue this.
Second?
Seconded by CBC Narcomi. All those in favor of resolution number 4018, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign.
Abstain.
Abstained by Mr. CBC Poe. I'm an abstention also, so there we go. Resolution number 4018 did pass. Comanche Nation Resolution number 4118 is before us. It deals with our tribal court. And it goes right to our Article 6, Section 7J. Peace, health, safety, and general welfare. This is what we promulgate through resolution, which is really legislation for our nation. And the general welfare on land determined to be within Comanche tribal jurisdiction. whereas the Comanche Nation Tribal Codes Title I, Comanche Nation Tribal Courts, Sections 3.01J and 4.01, approved by Comanche Resolution Number 13917, allows for bank accounts separate from the Comanche Nation Tribal Court account for purpose of acceptance and payment of monies on behalf and to parties. And whereas the Comanche Nation Tribal Court is in need of a separate bank account to accept monies and make payments for the purpose of bail bonds. There you go. Any entrepreneurs out there can be a bondsman. Whereas the Comanche Nation Tribal Court is in need of a separate bank account to accept monies and make payments for the purpose of trust upon pending actions before the court. And whereas monies paid for the purpose of bail bonds and in trust upon pending action shall not be commingled together, and that is good, or with operating monies for the court, which is even better, is audit proof if you do such things. Whereas the Business Committee wishes to allow Finley and Cook permission to use the eCourt online banking feature for routine banking activities authorized by the tribe. And now therefore be it resolved that the Business Committee hereby allows the Comanche Nation Tribal Court to establish a separate account entitled Comanche Court Bond Account. Be it further resolved that the Comanche Business Committee hereby allows the Comanche Nation Tribal Court to establish a separate account entitled Comanche Court Trust Account. Business Committee, as you can see, we have a graph, a table A. And what does it speak to? It speaks to how these accounts will be put up, and especially if they need a bond. So I'm going to the be it further resolved that the court clerk's court administrator is to keep an accounting for said funds deposited and paid from above accounts to be reconciled on a monthly basis and maintain a record of the funds received and expenditures from said accounts. I speak to the court administrator and the court clerk. Will you be giving us a record of this? Okay? Monthly? Very good. Business Committee, I bring forward resolution number 4118. I do need a motion to continue this good order of business.
I just have one question.
Sure.
As I read it, you know, the two now be resolved and further. We have two separate accounts, correct? Correct. Okay, thank you.
I make a motion to accept Resolution 41-18.
Motion made by our Vice Chair, Ms. Cawthorn,
Second.
seconded by CBC Narcomi. Business Committee to accept resolution number 4118. Please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed to this, same sign. Resolution number 4118, for the record, has passed. Okay. Oh. I guess this one here is, we still have not gone over this, Business Committee. We never, for the record, since I've been here, we never vote in executive session. This is a lot of private matter. There's no voting in executive session. So on this 4218, 4318, I'd like for someone to entertain a motion to table this for discussion.
I make the motion to table.
Motion to table. Thank you, Mr. Tipicani. You know, you haven't been here, and I haven't even seen this yet. So, the motion's on the table to table. To continue, I need a second.
That's for
Second.
4218 and
And
43?
Yes, sir, 4218 and 4318.
I'll make that motion.
And we got one motion, I do need a second, Mr. Red
Oh,
Oak.
I second that motion.
All right. Look at that haircut on Mr. Red Oak. My golly, we got. All those in favor to table this, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. All right, we're going to table that. Bobby, tell us something. I hear we got some voting machines, brand new. What's going on?
When I came into the office, when I looked at the past 4 years, $440,000 have been spent to contract our election services and having companies come in with their machines and conduct our elections for us. And so I looked at vendors and got proposals and bids from them, and I thought it was very important for them to be EAC certified, and that's Election Assistance Commission, and that's what states and federal organizations go by. And so they're really stringent, and you have to accomplish a lot of things in order to become EAC certified. So the voting equipment that we looked at, every company was EAC certified, and that was Election Service and Systems and Hart InterCivic and Unison. And there's other companies like Sequoia and those types of companies, but they weren't close to our state, so they removed themselves from the bid process. So we had these 3 vendors and came to the CBC and showed you guys the equipment. And so Hart InterCivic was the company that, they run all of Oklahoma's elections. They run Osage, the Chickasaws and the Cherokees elections also. So the decision was made by the business committee after discussion to go with Hart InterCivic. So it's going to be a one-time purchase of close to $78,000. And each year after that, the service and the maintenance fees are going to be $3,795.
Well, that's minimal. I like that part.
Yeah, and so.
You know, Bobby, I've seen 2 resolutions in the past. One in the 1990s that said we needed our own voting machines. So we're going to have our own voting machines.
Yes.
Amen.
Yes.
Thank you, Bobby. All right. Resolution number 4418. The tradition of our sovereignty of the Comanche Nation since time immemorial predates the existence of the nation and does establish the inherent sovereign powers and rights of the Comanche self-government. Whereas the CBC is the duly elected official body designated to conduct business for and on behalf of the nation as its stewards of the nation. Whereas the Comanche Nation Election Coordinator is requesting to purchase new voting equipment for the upcoming election. Whereas the Comanche Business Committee is authorized to approve Comanche Nation Election Department funding under current approved Comanche Nation Tribal Government Property and Procurement Policies and Procedure. And be it further resolved that the Comanche Business Committee approves the Election Department funding in the amount of $77,214 to purchase voting equipment from Hart InterCivic for the upcoming election. The equipment and software will have a 5-year warranty, and I believe you said it comes with training.
Yes.
Very good. Free training, more or less. Yeah, okay. Business Committee, long overdue, long overdue. Resolution number 4418, I do need a motion to continue.
I make a motion to approve resolution 44-18.
I'll second that.
Hot dogs. Narcomi and our Vice Chair. Business Committee, to approve resolution number 4418, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Yay. Oh, by the way, whoever has a cell phone, go ahead and turn it off, please. I'm the main one. Thank you. All right. Here's another one that, with the absence of our secretary treasurer, the absence of me dealing with my companion's health issues, I'd like to ask to table resolution number 4518. And I do the motion to table this until we debate and come out of executive session for a possible vote. So resolution number 4518, chairing this meeting, I'd like for someone to entertain that motion to table.
I make a motion to table resolution 45-18.
To continue on that one, we do need a second.
I'll second it.
Seconded by our vice chair. Business committee to table for discussion. Please signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. Okay. Sure.
You said table it and you're going into executive session.
Yeah, we gotta discuss.
So
Mr.
are you going
Tippecanoe
with the
has
other
not
two?
been here.
Are you going with the same other two too with an executive session?
Yeah, we got to discuss them
So you're
first.
going to discuss all three?
Yes. We can't help people being sick, and we don't want people to be misinformed, so. Last month, or was it 2 months ago, we passed encrypted messaging. I think it was last month.
Yeah.
Last month. Okay. It was last month, Jimmy? Yeah, yeah. The thing is, as we see an encroachment in Terrell, Oklahoma, I never thought tribes would be total competition to each other, but, you know, it is what it is. It is, we're competition. And with that said, we have a lot of information. What do we have? Our nation's worth $200 million on paper. We exchange a lot of information, from gaming to the federal side, from the federal side to every program. We cannot have it to where somebody's going to grab this information and disgruntled in their work and throw it on Facebook. You can't do it. It's against the law. So we came up with this a promulgated law that we need to have this information encrypted. And I'm just going to go out there and say what I got to say. I'm going to say the truth. What is the truth? The truth is, we did business with a non-native. We did business with a non-Comanche. And I hope you're watching today. This person is from Chicago, Illinois. This person has created this Facebook site called Expose the Comanche Business Committee. This person has taken our audit and put it out on Facebook. This person says he takes all this information that is so correct and puts it on Facebook. Number one, if you do business with anybody, and you find out that the business deal was no good for your nation, and you tell this person to go away, what kind of business would you ever do with this person that does things like that? I myself, nama tinapa, and when it hits home for my people, things like that, to downgrade our folks, our nation, our business, for the common well-being of all people, you got an enemy. Dr. Pee Wee Wardy will agree with me. That name Comanche meant what? Enemy. Enemy. Enemy of who? Enemy of everybody. Well, you want to create an enemy on the Comanche word? Don't do that. With this resolution today, what it's saying, encryption will not allow people to take sensitive information. It should never be taken like that. It could compromise everything in our nation. With that said, I'm bringing forward resolution to amend Resolution 1418. Whereas the Comanche Constitution establishes the CBC as a duly elected official body designated to conduct business for and on behalf of the Comanche Nation, a legal quorum. Whereas Comanche Nation Constitution, Article 6, Business Committee, to promulgate and enforce ordinance of codes governing law and order to protect, once again, the peace, the health, the safety, and the general welfare on land determined to be within Comanche Tribal's jurisdiction. And whereas the Comanche Nation does have sensitive, confidential, proprietary information shared between all Comanche Nation entities related to financial and personal matters. And whereas the Comanche Nation will move to encrypted information related to financial and personal matters. Therefore, be it resolved, all Comanche Nation entities will have to comply with this new procedure immediately for all financial and personal information. The penalty for any employed, contracted, or appointments or at these Comanche Nation entities will also include disciplinary action up to and including termination. Business Committee, without saying any more, I need a motion to continue on this.
I'll make that motion.
Motion
Chairman.
made, I need a second for acceptance.
Can I ask a
Was that a question or
after
before?
I have a question. before you
Ma'am,
go.
what is your
The
question?
question was what you're talking about. Am I understanding right? What you're talking about, this guy, I don't know who it is. So what you're saying is personal business and personal information?
No, I'm talking about financial
Okay,
business.
okay, so why is it, tell me, you help me understand. Why is it different from when y'all, not you, y'all, put all that stuff out there, personal information out there from the beginning, and then now you're telling us this? I can't
Personal.
comprehend.
Personal
It's not tribal.
information.
What?
He's not tribal.
I know, but you
He's
still
not-
did what
he's
you
not
did,
Comanche.
so it doesn't matter what, to me, that's just me, not everybody else.
That's your opinion.
Yeah, that's my opinion. So that y'all are doing what you're doing now, but y'all did what y'all did then, and now this guy's saying what he's saying, so I don't understand the difference.
I just told you the difference. We're Comanche, he's not.
I
He's
know,
in
but you were
Chicago.
Comanche when you put all that crap out there.
He's in Chicago.
Right.
What
You
does
put
that
all
have
the
to do with
information
this
out there on
area?
us. I know because I'm one of them that you put out there, so that's why I'm saying this. You're mad because of this guy that's doing what he's doing, but then y'all did what y'all did and put all that information, personal information out there. See, and that was wrong, totally wrong.
When was that done?
When y'all came in, when her did all that, I say her, Susan.
Me.
Yeah, Susan, her friend, Tarabo told everything. That she gave all that information on the.
Taraba is not my friend. You can rest
Well-
assured of that.
So they put all that stuff on there. And I made copies of it, that information about that, what is that money they were given back then? What is
I
it?
don't know,
You know what I'm
Susan.
talking about? The money, they put that whole list, I know y'all know what I'm talking about because everybody had it on what we got.
The dividend?
All I know
No,
now,
the dividend.
all I know
Hold
now
on.
is encryption won't allow that. It can't allow that, anything like that to ever happen again.
Well, I'm just saying, now y'all saying what you're saying, but y'all, I'm not saying you individual, y'all did what y'all did back then and put all that information on personal from Friendly and Cook, They put all that out there, and I'm just saying, am I understanding you right?
I don't know about that part. I wasn't here, so,
No, you were here, but I just said you didn't have no part of it.
okay, well.
You know.
Well, all I know is this.
These guys know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
All right.
You have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I second that motion.
Second, okay. All those move forward on this resolution, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. All right. All right. Vern,
Yes, sir.
can I call upon you? I'm just going to take a little pause here, Comanche Nation. I asked our chief of police to come and give a report. Now, this report is long overdue. A lot of people have said, well, what about this and what about that? I think Vern will clear up the air. So, Mr. Vern, if you could please give us a report. And there are some sensitive informations on this that deals with civil liberties. Mr. Red Oak made a report about 5 years ago that this table here where America guess what? Everybody is innocent until proven guilty. And he made a comment, my gosh, why is it our nation, you're guilty until proven innocent? So anyway, with that said, Vern, could you give your report, sir?
Okay. Since the 1st of February, when our new court went into operation, in the law enforcement side, we've had 198 incidents. Of that, 27 were drug-related, 3 were domestic violence, 8 assaults, 1 DUI, 12 thefts, 1 public intox, 13 warrants, 7 firearms were recovered at the casinos, and we had 7 counterfeit. In our cases at the U.S. Attorney's Office, we had 1 conviction, and it was United States versus Bullingate Gelly, and he was found guilty of a violation of 18 U.S.C. 113.5, simple assault. It originally was charged as strangulation. He received, and this is an individual without any criminal history, he received 6 months imprisonment at the Bureau of Prisons, 1 year supervised release on the U.S. probation, and special conditions under his supervision. So this is an individual who had no criminal history, and he received that type of sentence. Since then, we have had 3 other fraud cases gone up, and we had a conviction in the tax commission case, and sentencing will be made this month. In our other case, target letters have been set out, and we fully expect a grand jury indictment. Within our tribal district court, we received a domestic violence case, which was a second incident, same victim. And we received a conviction, and his sentencing will be Monday. And one of the reasons why you see the next item on our line item is the second conviction is a possible, or is eligible for consideration under our felony code. And depending on the judge's sentencing, we may need a place to incarcerate. So that's the reason why we have our next item. We've had Comanche Nation versus Hardy, Comanche Nation versus Lawson and Fair, Comanche Nation versus Johnson, Lewis, Stanford, Wagner, Demoncourt, Hallbrook, Walker, Allen, McDaniel, Yakue, Smith, and Stewart. And those were charges of possession of CDS and or firearms and or domestic violence and or paraphernalia. Each identifications will be going to court. A reminder that individuals are innocent until proven guilty. You will find if you attend our court that it's far different from the CFR court setting. One, we have all the court members are law members. They all have law degrees, have passed bars, both the prosecution and defense. We have an appellate system. We have a means for identifying if indigent defense is necessary or warranted. I mean, it's just like if you go to the federal district in western Oklahoma, Judge no, I'm talking about downtown. No,
Pete?
I can think I'd ever forget his name. Western District.
Oh, okay.
U.S. Western District.
John Harold.
There's Butch.
Well, anyway, you go in there, you have a means test, you will get a defense attorney, and these defense attorneys are nothing to laugh at. They're highly qualified, they do well, and in their defense of defendants. Judge Irvin's court. And I mentioned Judge Irwin's court because all of our non-Indian cases where we have an Indian victim, particularly for the victims' crimes like drug possession, firearms, they're going to his court. And he has provided sentencing up to a felony level, and has supervised probation up to 5 years on some of the cases. So that is where we're at with the caseload right now.
Okay, the big question. All right, we had a forensic audit.
Yes.
All right. What is the big grand jury and where are we at on that?
I don't know. Because one is being conducted by the task force in Oklahoma City because the volume is so great that my personnel could not handle that and continue to do all the other work we need to do. I've been in contact with Lang, Special Agent Lang here, and we're making some contacts on Monday morning with individuals to find out if and wherever they are at in that type of case. Our fallback position on that, if should the U.S. Attorney's Office decline to prosecute, that does not mean the individuals are found to be absolved of anything. It means they didn't reach the level of their cases to go into the U.S. Attorney's Office. We have a court which, in fact, will probably give them a greater sentence because they don't have to follow the sentencing guidelines. They follow the guidelines in the statute.
We have a set precedent here in our Comanche Nation over the last 4 decades. When situations did happen, I believe the elected people said, oh, leave it alone, leave it alone. So, you got these people that are supposed to be the stewards of the United States government that say, well, it's a tribal matter, leave it alone, leave it alone. Well, with their own court. And the thing is this, people, I'm not even going any further, Mr. Chairman. I just don't know what to say about it. Okay, we're going to go to what Vern needs. First off, we can't go in and build us a jail, but there's a brand new jail, and it's down there in Tillman County. It's in our jurisdiction, minimal cost. So we're going to resolution number 4718. And it comes to the tradition of our sovereignty of the Comanche Nation. Since time immemorial, long predates the existence of the nation. It does establish the inherent sovereign powers and rights of the Comanche self-government. And the Comanche Business Committee is a duly elected official body designated to conduct business for and on behalf of the Comanche Nation. It is therefore resolved that the Comanche Nation reaffirms its law enforcement service commitment to the nation by strengthening its law enforcement activities by entering into this agreement with Tillman County Detention Center, TCDC, to provide long-term adult detention for the nation. The TCDC will provide services to its facilities in Frederick, Oklahoma for adults at the rates designated in the contract beginning 3/5/2018. That will be this Monday. Specific terms are identified in the attached contract between the governing bodies of each entity. Business Committee, I do bring forward the interlocal cooperative agreement between the nation and Tillman County Law Enforcement Center for Correctional Services.
I make a motion, we accept resolution 47-18.
Motion made to continue. I do need a second.
Second it.
Seconded by Mr. Poway. Resolution number 4718. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. I believe we have an actual judge. Mr. TA, on this judge, could you give us a little info on this one that we're about to do?
One that you're got to affirm?
Yes.
Well,
This judge is a member of the Ponca and Laguna tribes. He currently sits on the, well, you have information there in front of you. That's a lot of information to ask.
I know it,
Chairman.
I know. But his process went through he went through the 4-step process.
Right,
Great.
right.
All right. Vice Chair, could I call upon you to bring a motion forward to affirm this recommended judge?
I personally would like to review this.
Okay.
Can we, just look it over in executive and then come out and make a decision?
Sure. You know what?
I haven't had a
Yes.
chance to look at it, I'm sorry.
Okay, all right. So, can you pose a motion that we table this and go over, review?
I make a
Okay.
motion that we table this and discuss it in executive session.
I do need a second on that
Second.
one. Okay. Business Committee to table and go over and review. Please signify by saying aye. All those opposed, same sign. Well, Vern, guess what? You do have Tillman County now. We tried Walters, Cotton County, but boy, that courthouse is just so old. And, that'd be a detriment for anybody over there, Cotton County. Before we close, everybody, I did not amend the agenda for this, but Dr. Pee Wee Wardy retired from Portland State University up in Oregon. Was it Oregon? He has worked really hard with the superintendent of Lawton Schools. He has worked really hard with Cameron University. He has worked really hard with USAO. He has worked really hard with Oklahoma City Metro Comanche kids. He's working really hard with Indiana, who I love. Darn it, they didn't make it to state. But I love Indiana. Listen to the numbers. The poverty rate is over 30%. It's not very, very rich. They have no taxes coming in. But they have a 98% graduation ratio. Yeah, it might be a graduating class of 20, maybe 12, but the population of Native Americans is 67%. And guess what their GPA is? 3.6. What? That's something to hang your hat on. They got committed teachers. The kids, well, I don't know if it's because of the board, but no, they study. They study. They actually study, these kids. And when the ones that come out of Indiana, they go to college and they make it. They get it done. What am I saying today? Today we are here to conduct business. Dr. Pee Wee Wardy has done everything pro bono. Pro bono means free of charge, the love of educating our people. About 10 years ago, Dr. Chapabitty, who had retired from IHS, was labeled a liaison by the business committee for IHS. And he still works with our liaison, Ms. Cothran, at IHS meetings. I'd like to make a motion today, and for the record, the tribal administrator and I, we have discussed this in length, and we see all the work he does, and he doesn't want no money, and he's working harder now in his retirement than I tease him about that. Anyway, I'd like to make a motion today that Dr. Cornell Pee Wee Wardy becomes our liaison for Southwest Oklahoma and the avocation of our Native American youth and the students and the curriculum herein. And that's my motion on this table. Following Robert's rules, the chairman could make a motion or almost a proclamation of such. With that said, I've got it on this table.
You need a second?
Yes, sir.
I second it.
Seconded and made by Mr. Narcomey. All those in favor for Mr. or Dr. Cornell Pee Wee Wardy to be our liaison for the educational effort of our youth and the superstars that are going to come later on, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Dr. Pee Wee Wardy, please stand, sir. I applaud you and I stand for you. With that said, sir, please give us an update on what we had discussed yesterday, because you had so much going on. Please tell us. Please tell us about what Robert and we intended to do. The superintendent came to our KCA meeting, and boy, what did he want? He wanted to put a sports complex on our great KCA land. Now, Chairman, listen to this. They wanted all that. Then Robert shot to them. Hey, how's our kids? What's their GPA? Where are they at? And what did that man tell us, Robert? He was going to come back and give us the information. Did he? No. No. But what's a sports complex? We all know our Comanche boys and Comanche girls are great athletes. We know that. But let's expand the biggest muscle we got, which is our brain. So with that said, Dr. Pee Wee Wardy, please tell us the work you've just done recently, just this last week. Could you please?
Madam Deputy John Cornell, Pee Wee Wardy. My father is Doc Samuel Pee Wee Wardy. I'm a member of the citizen of the Comanche. I'm half Kiowa. My mother's Mary Lee Colity. So I have the blood within our tribes. Many of us are mixed, but I love our beloved community, the Comanches, and it's taken me decades to complete a career that was unexpected of many Native academics, become a full professor, and it's taken me a lot. My family, the tribe has really helped me, and I was looking forward to coming back home. I was short in my career because of a scare of colon cancer. I'm all clear now. I feel healthy. I've got some weight to lose. But my wife just finished law school, and she's taking the Oklahoma State Bar this week. And it's taken a lot of us in their dreams. So we have a commitment to education. We know how important this is. And that's why I invest my time giving back the gift of an education to our people. Not just working and volunteer with I Am Indian program, but advising our youth and helping them learn our culture through song and through dance. And the things that I volunteer, particularly with the education, with Catherine Parker's support, we're able to convene special interest, and with the Comanche grassroots people, not only giving me advice on how to put together a resolution that was passed to Indigenous Peoples Day. So we're moving in that direction, and also the work that we're doing in Lawton Public Schools, just to open up the door. Now we have a council, a Native council that's working hand in hand with the superintendent, associate superintendent, education director, and federal programs director. That has taken a long time, but we've now got our foot in the door. We're working hand in because we built trust. And that trust is what I take from my teachings, from my community. My father, who sat in these chairs when he was alive, and just knowing that we need to do what's necessary and make those hard decisions. And so I try to follow in those footsteps and try to create a world for our children that is better than our world. Because for me, it was really difficult growing up, going to public school in this community, and it took encouragement from my immediate family, who is here, to keep continuing to do what we need to do. And so as I begin to see how many of our students that are about to graduate and those that are getting scholarships, I'm just so thrilled to look at that, because that reflects you and I, who were not expected. I was not expected to even go to college because that wasn't my training at Lawton High School. And so I want that attitude to change. And we could do that through working with all of our educators. And so not only with Lawton Public Schools, we're looking at how we can better improve our educations. So next week, we're having a convening at the tribal college, former tribal college, to talk about what does the future look like for our children. We have an opportunity to create our ideas and what that might be. And so I'm convening that meeting, and I encourage all of you to come to, because of the nature of where we are in this day and age of self-determination. I believe in that, and that's what I teach. Not only the knowledge base or indigenous ways of knowing is very valid today, and it has always been valid. It's reflected in the sustainability movement today. The national movement is really moving towards looking at the way we are. We've always been, and that's our solution. But the education would teach us, our children, how to be good individuals, how to be good citizens, and how to respect one another, even though we have conflict. But how do we move it and make reconciliation? And so those are the things that I have in mind. Those are what I was taught by my parents in my community, and I come to you and come back home and just wanted to volunteer my time, because this is the community I love. So I say thank you very much. I know we got a lot of work to do. I know that the tribal council can't go to all of the meetings at Cameron or at Lawton Public Schools, or even the state legislator, or even the consortium meetings that are necessary. But if I was designated as a representative and I asked for no pay at all, I already have a retirement, and we're trying to do what we can, we all do as parents, and to continue. I do have a research job. I do that. I can't stop working. I've got bills to pay like everybody else, but we manage like we've always managed all of our life. But we teach our children the same way, teach our students the same way. And I'm really proud to be here speaking, and thank you very much, Uraka, for this designation.
This is a Comanche man that our children can be mentored by and look up to. Where is Julian?
Just stepped down.
Okay, Julian just got promoted within the education system. What was his title promotion? What was that? Do we know, Mama?
He's the executive director of
American Indian Education.
There you go.
Executive director. Let's give Julian
With the state of Oklahoma.
for the whole state of Oklahoma. With that said, what a wonderful day. Business committee, we got a lot of things to discuss in our executive. I need somebody to entertain a motion to adjourn this part of our meeting.
I make a motion,
Will you be coming back after?
Yes, we always do. We can't vote in executive session.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Motion made by Vice Chair, second by Mr. Narcomi. All those in favor to adjourn, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. And Mr. Tipicani, I am so glad you're back.
Thank you.
All right. Everybody, we're going to take about a 15-minute break, then we're going to go to our executive session.
How long do you usually stay in the executive?